Hello, everyone. In case we haven't met, my name is Dr. Harmony, and I will help you live fearless, live loved, and live free. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. And make sure to get subscribed and hit that notification bell so that you know when all my videos and content come live. And today we have Tatiana back with us doing the energy report for August that we promised that she'll do it on a monthly basis, posted on the first of every month. So make sure to mark your calendar for that. And we have some very exciting things, some very exciting news. And I cannot wait to hear this energy report, being that I'm Leo and we have the Lionsgate coming up. We have so many exciting things that we'll talk about. So welcome, Tatiana, and thank you for being with us, sharing your passion with us and this energy report. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you, Dr. Harmony, so much for having me again. And I'm so excited to see you all and give whatever information is more pertinent and what resonates for you. And this is just my blessing. So should we just dig in?
We're just going to dive in. Yes.
Dive in. So first thing I'd like to share is an image. See this image?
Ooh, yes.
People who are still not understanding, like, oh, what's happening and how the energy of the sky moves in and how that is pertinent to us in our psyche. This image is a little representation of the energy of planets conversing or sending their beams to our energy fields, and that's how we create then a reality out of our own connection to these energy fields. So when we do these reports, and because this is the first one we're doing, I would love for you to bear this in mind, that these energy fields are just speaking to you through frequencies. So that's why when you integrate them within yourself, that's what gets acted out in the world. And that's why we see what we see in the world. It's not like, oh, this is doing that. It's like, it's us. It's us and our energy and how we're being impacted by this energy and how we process it that makes that happen. And when it's internal and then it reflects in outer reality. Or if we're not integrating it, then outer reality reflects this to us and say, hey, look, this is happening. See it in yourself so you can make the best choices for how we want to move forward in our collective co-creation. So this is this little image that I created myself, by the way.
I'm just going to make sure we brought that up. Tatiana is a fabulous, brilliant, talented, and intuitive artist, really. She brings my images, visions I see into form, and she is the artist to the card deck that's been working on for 6 years that did the final images, and it took her a year to do them based on channeling them, and Twin Flame Ascension Oracle card deck, Take Me Home, that will come out this fall, and she was the artist. So I just wanted to make sure to note that. So yes.
Yes, and now that you're talking about this, because we're talking about Leo season, what's the season mean? It's when the sun is going through a sign that we call it is the season of that sign, which is like every month between roughly the 22nd of each month to the next 22nd of each month. That's like a season, and each season, like everything in life, has a purpose and has a reason for being, where it's like, you know, it's not the same to be in the morning as to be at night or in the afternoon. It's the same thing with seasons. And Leo season, where the sun is right now moving, the sun,
which, by the way, I'm Leo, so this is going to basically be my report this month.
And all Leo suns, like, brace up. But this, I mean, if you don't know much about astrology at all, like, don't worry, we'll keep it simple. However, if you do want to dig in deeper, then definitely we can, you can look deeper into your chart, and we can, say that later. I can help you with that.
I want to mention something about that, because Tatiana does the evolutionary astrology, which she explained that in our last video that we did an introduction. We'll make a link here. But all the feedback I've gotten from all the clients that have saw Tatiana, and myself included in this, for an evolutionary birth chart reading, have said that they have never had a reading to the level and degree that she gives them. So I just want you to know, Tatiana, this is your gift, and we knew that. But wow.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's simple. You can even just look up your chart in astro.com and like, or find your chart online and know a little bit about where your sun is, where your moon is, and your rising. If you just know those three things, sun, moon, and rising, then it's easier to understand these reports as well, you know? So even though you don't know other planets. So Leo. So where this sun is moving, it's moving through Leo, and you see this image of Leo.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a few planets, like starting like August 1st, we have the sun in Leo. We have, what else is in Leo? Let me see. The sun is in Leo, Mercury is in Leo. And sun and Mercury is literally how we think of ourselves, how we can express. It's expression. Mercury is our expression, our voice, our communication. And Leo is us, is who I am. You see this image, it's the center. Leo is in the center, is the spotlight. That's you, the spotlight. You know, the spotlight is you, it's creative. And there's this little heart here. Speak of the heart. What do you love to do? Who are you? What do you truly love? Or are you being prompted by others and society and people to be who you are, instead of finding you yourself, who you are? So what's going to happen in this first week of August, roughly, while, you know, the sun is in Leo with Mercury, my self-expression, my being, my creativity, what do I love and know I am here to do and be? You know what's going to happen in that week when that is being challenged by Saturn? That first week, it's going to be challenged by Saturn. Saturn is directly opposite the sun. So the sun is here and Saturn's out there. And you're here, I want to express, I want to be. And Saturn says, from outside of you, shut up, don't, no, this is not you, this is what so the feeling that especially like Leo people can be feeling at this moment, and especially people that are born mostly be like the first week of August, usually like around the 5, 6, 7, 8 of August, like that week of August. And not only the Leo people, Aquarius people, Leo people, Scorpio people, and Taurus people that are born within, you know, around the 5th of, you know, your month. You might be feeling this tension, this desire to express, be, and or find who you truly are. And Saturn in this opposition, if you're not seeing within yourself, what have you created for yourself? Are you your own authority in this life, or are you allowing others to dictate your life? And that includes a boss, it could include a partner, it could be just society, it could be at your work, it could be a friend that is overpowered. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be your parents. So at this time, Saturn is asking you. Saturn is not bad, contrary to some beliefs, you know. Saturn just wants you to understand what you need to gain mastery in and what you need to step up so you become stronger at. So if you're not being self-expressed, Saturn is saying, well, we're going to squeeze you a little bit so you find your self-expression. How does that look like? So, oh, if you're not expressing yourself, we're going to make sure you express yourself and your true self, not a fake self that's trying to pose for society. So that's a little bit of the energy of that like first week. However, there is good news also in that first week. We have August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, yeah, the first week. And then we're having also a nice energy flowing from Venus. Venus right now at this moment is in a Virgo. So Venus is Virgo, is service, is detail, is it's beauty, is imagine like a beautiful, intricate, I don't know, embroidery or a piece of jewelry that's, and it's beautiful and perfect. That's what Venus looks like in Virgo. So there is going to be a lot of more Virgo energy towards the second half of the month. But Venus is bringing you also the ability to connect to maybe relationships or an artistic sense that you might have, that requires attention and detail. And it also, because it's making a nice aspect to Uranus in Taurus, Uranus is wanting change. So, people, if you're thinking, and this is a little bit more shallow, of a change, like a change in your aspect, your beauty, Venus, in change, and, this would be a great time if you want to cut your hair, redo yourself. Like, what is your personal style? This is a great time to do that. Like, if somebody's been dictating your style, no, you can go and say, no, my personal style is, I want to do this change. Right now it's supported. Again, this might be a little bit on the shallower side, because the changes really come from a desire to internally express something that we connect to more as pleasurable and beautiful. And something that's more, how can also we serve ourselves? And Venus is also in this Virgo energy, and I'm going to show you a little bit of the Virgo energy as well. So where is our Virgo energy? Ta-da. Oh no, where is it? I lost it.
Beautiful image there. I just absolutely love that. I want to put that in the frame, Tatiana.
Oh, well, by the way, these are available too. If you would like this in a frame, I'll put the link below.
Okay, we'll put a link below she has a lot of artwork that, yes.
Yes, so Virgo, you see, this is the Virgo archetype. And you see, Virgo it's all about craft, service. So I'm thinking, find where you can be of service, or even like Venus and Virgo is about organizing also your finances, because Venus speaks about what we value, what we love. So what we value could be also money. So it's a good time to be organizing. Virgo wants to organize. You see, it's like these are all these ideas that are very fluid, and then Virgo takes them and organizes them perfectly, and makes like the best of. Virgo wants to elevate everything to the most efficient and the best of. So every energy has shadow side. So obsessive attention to details and analysis is not, or getting obsessed is not the idea. Or
so finding the balance. And I have to tell you something, as you're talking about this, you're describing me right now and what I'm going through. And those of you that have not watched my last week's video and sharing how I am getting married on Lionsgate, how exciting, and how this wedding has just expansively sort of blown up in a way that it's orchestrating itself. I'm going through exactly what you're saying, Tatiana. Everything has to be the best, the next level. Things that I would have planned one way are turning into much bigger, and I'm seeing where I need to let go to allow it to be better than it would have been had I stayed limited. Mm-hmm. So you're describing that everything, you have to reach your highest level right now. I actually said that in that last video, that we're being stretched and expanding into the next level, into the quantum leap of our highest version of ourselves. And if we settle for less than that, we're being nudged to take a really leap and stretch into that right now.
Yeah, and this Venus-Uranus in the first week of August, I'm going to read a passage from one of my most favorite books. It's called The Archetypal Universe by Ren Butler, and also my teacher. Amazing. And it says, relationship breakthroughs, a rebirth of love and friendship, feelings of romantic electricity and excitement, a colorful and eccentric sense of style. So and fun. So you see, at the same time, we have this energy saying, come on, Who are you? What's your sense of beauty, of self, of sparkle, of fun? Who are the people you actually want to be with? What are those new relationships, or how are you transforming your relationships? If they were wonky, this is saying, come on, no, take it up to the next level. And at the same time, we have Saturn and the Sun saying, and if Venus and Uranus are helping you do this, but you gotta see it. So if you're being oppressed, if you're feeling constricted, if you're feeling unheard, if you're feeling shut off, if you're feeling like this, like you have no personal expression, well, Venus, Uranus will help you say, ah, I am. So
it's the actual birth and expression of who we are coming out of that cocoon, right?
Exactly. And you know, this first week, and then on August 8th, when we have the Lionsgate,
I can't wait to hear this. My wedding day. Which, by the way, everyone is invited, and I just want to tell them it is August 8th at 2:30 Central Standard Time. We'll go live, and there is a little question of the time getting started on time based on some setup for some things, but be watching at 2:30, and we will be live as soon as possible. So
August 8th, and here comes the wonderful things, and then the little caveats, okay? Like, like, ooh, be careful with certain things. We do have still, by this, it's a new moon. So new moons are like literally new beginnings.
And this is a what new moon, Leo, right?
Leo new moon.
Where? No, I'm sorry, Leo.
It's a new moon in Leo.
Yes.
Because the sun is in Leo and the moon is in Leo, and they're together. This is a new moon. They come together. It's just like, it's a new starting point because they're together before they separate again towards the full moon where they're furthest. So the new moon, they're together saying, we're together. Sun and moon is the energy of literally the birth. You know, it's when a man comes into a woman and there is a seed into an, you know, the sperm comes in. That's the new moon. That's what it is. It's a seeding. It's like when the sun and the moon come together, it's the male and the feminine and the masculine come together. Every single month, there's a seed that's planted. And that seed is energetic. And that seed has to do with, first of all, what's the energy and how, remember that image that I showed you, how this energy is being expressed by who? You. Not by the world, not like it's you who express this energy. So how are you feeling restricted? How are you feeling that you want to break free? How are you feeling that you want your relationships to step up to a new level? This is all you. And if this is being bubbling up, well, do it and plant an intentional seed. The intentional seed is when you go and say, I am going to create this for my next cycle or my next level of being. What happens on this August 8th? So a few things. So there's this new moon coming in, and there's still a weak, hard energy coming between. So this is called a T-square because it's one planet is at the point, which is Uranus, is pulling. Saturn is up here saying restriction, you know, responsibility, like we're, and then there's the new moon here wanting to plant a seed, and there's this there's tension. Uranus is like, come on, we gotta make a change. You know, if you don't make a change in our structures, in how we, in our structures, what we value, in how, in our relationships, in how we make, you know, if we don't make a change in how we're relating to each other, and towards, of course, more of an Aquarian paradigm, which is the big Aquarian family, because Saturn is in Aquarius, literally saying we need new structures. Of what? Aquarius is all the new energy. Aquarius is future oriented, is also this is Aquarius. Leo is the polarity of Aquarius. So I'm going to show you Aquarius to understand why this energy is also very important.
I always pictured it as like the flame and the air, and you know, like Aquarius just takes and puts Leo like expanded on like
because it's the polarity.
Yeah.
This is Aquarius, and you see it like the flame could be also singing the bulb or the electricity, and it's forward. But you see, here opposed to Leo, everybody's at the same level. That sense of identity, like personal identity, which is Leo, is is kind of gone into I am for the collective. I am myself for the collective. Like a clock, I call it the cosmic clock, where you have the energy of imagining little, each part of the clock is unique and special, Leo, but without that special uniqueness, the clock doesn't work. So that's Aquarius, and that's why it's forward thinking, scientific, but it also could be a little bit impersonal. That's the shadow side of Aquarius. So when Saturn is moving through Aquarius, like as Saturn is moving through Aquarius, and this whole, it's been moving already since.
What timeline are we talking here around the Lionsgate?
2020. Well, oh no, Saturn is moving through Aquarius until 2020. Let me see my ephemeris. 8 degrees of Aquarius. Oh, it's going to be moving into Aquarius into 2022. I mean, I don't have the whole ephemeris here, but it's for a long time still, you know.
And so this would be the energy we can use for creation over the next year or so?
Exactly, over the next year or so, and because we're planting these seeds, and then the new moon.
So the Lionsgate, if I understand this correctly, Lionsgate is then this new moon is the opening portal to planting our seeds for the next year or so that we want to bring into form, right?
And it's who we are. It's what we want to bring into form of my true self, that then is going to be connected to this energy. My true self can only be true, not because we are sheeps following one model, like, you know, like sheep, but because we are like the little piece in that clock. If you find, if this is a time for you to really ask this question seriously, what structures are you creating for yourself, and what structures of community, of collaboration, how are you being special within your communities, within your families, within your relationships? Uranus is pushing. That's why the Uranus is in this tension, saying we need to make this change. It's not anymore about someone up top and a bunch of sheep following.
Yes.
That's done. However, who are you expecting to make this change? Someone out there? No, change comes from you deciding who you are, what you love.
New moon would be really good time to want to reinvent the self and determine who am I, what do I want to be, and what I want to do, and what I want to have, right?
However, there's a little thing in this new moon in August 8th for Lionsgate. There's also an aspect of Neptune to Venus. And Neptune it's tension. So maybe this new invention that you have, or this new relationships, make sure that it's not part of a big illusion or a big rose-colored glass thing. So yes, get on with this new version of you. However, make sure you're not being duped by some kind of illusion, by seeing something that looks too good to be true. So this is where we also want to apply a little bit energy of Virgo, grounded energy. So whatever can be coming from, oh, something is so magical and so great. Oh, and this relationship is the best ever. And like, yeah, but give it a dose of realism. You know, people do, you know, they do their bodily functions and stuff. You know what I mean?
So let's talk about that in terms of a wedding that day. And, you know, this is all kind of blown up out of proportion quickly, not out of proportion, but it's blown up. And I feel like it's this sense of the vortex in our alignment of our purpose and missions now, pulling us together to continue what we couldn't do alone. So it's also like that very magnetic pull. And you saw our individual chart, our compatibility chart. And I know that, like what you're saying, I'm just going to ask that out in front of everybody for you just to share what advice would you give me or anyone else going through that on that day with relationships, or, you know, or new ideas or inventions. But let's keep it, since, you know, like more towards the relationship and wanting love.
Well, in relationships, if you're in a relationship, Venus, Neptune, like tendencies toward vulnerability and codependence, romantic illusions, confusion or deception, over idealization in relationships leading to disappointment. So in order not to, and this is for you who are getting married, the best way to work with this energy is not to be like completely in la la land or cloud nine. Make sure you're also very aware of the things that like, oh no, that's just a pink flag. You know, when you make red flags pink, no, it's a red flag, and you say, okay, this is happening, instead of saying like, oh, red flag, I gotta go away. No, oh, I gotta work with this. Why is this showing up? And then you make it grounded. And
Yeah.
to anybody, it's very important to also get into this. Like, pink flags are still flags. They're red. You just see them
Yeah.
pink, and you can swipe them and say, no,
In
that's
my
not.
case, I feel like it's more the difference, the differences, and also other people than like what you're saying. It's more that it's time for me to see the parts of myself that I've never saw before. And it's taken Julian for me to even see those, right?
Exactly. And that's how you work with this energy. Otherwise, you go into la la land and put things in people in pedestals, and or an ideal situation, and then don't see the reality that there's a reality to work with. And that's why the polarity of Virgo is saying, well, the la la land Pisces, and the polarity Virgo says yes, but there's an every day you have to get up, make breakfast, do this, do that. Like, there's a routine, there's something that is, there's some kind of sense of reality, and it's important to stay grounded. And otherwise, when the bubble pops and you're like, oh, what happened? My pumpkin, like my carriage turned into a pumpkin.
Right.
And that's what could happen later on. The carriage turns into pumpkin, and you're like, what happened? So this is why it's very important to stay grounded. And
I think the nice thing is it's him that keeps me grounded and together. I said this in a video. It's like the etch and sketch, and he's the pencil. He takes all my parts and they come together. And and it like it's so magnetic, but at the same time so magical on one end, but also like it is like the mind is hard to catch up to that. And so because when we as twin flames have been on this journey for so long and we're looking for real love, and we question if it's really there or not. And I'm human just like everyone else, but my knowing underneath of that knew it existed, knew it's real. And I think that for all the twin flames out there right now, what this is doing for the self is actually also part of like everything you're talking about also is what's bringing in the love and ushering in the reunions of twin flames into relationships or even other relationships where there's been a lack of communication. They're able to come in now and to create new ways to interact together.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And even at a more global level, when we talk about this, like way to interact together, be together, the changes we're making in our relationships need to come from love. And this is why the Leo says, okay, we gotta come to our hearts and to love and to who we are. And is this what I really want, or is it an illusion? It's very important to ask yourself those questions. Otherwise, you'll be like falling off from cloud nine, and that's not. Then you're like, oh, what happened, right? No, just be aware and be grounded from the get-go. And the tension that's happening with Uranus, that's why we've seen so many riots. So many people are like, people are being literally repressed. Like, this has been going on for months. And hey, brace yourself. This square to Uranus is going to ease up a little bit, and then it's going to contract again and come back for the last. It's been going like,
when is that happening?
December. So
okay.
Brace up again.
Prepare.
However, like I invite people to make the change inside, so that the change doesn't have to come from violent confrontations, because it's not necessary. If we're right now taking responsibility for how we are not taking responsibility for who we are and what we want for our lives, and not having others dictate our lives, if we're not doing that, yeah, somebody will do it for us. It's like, if you cannot put your boundary, somebody will put it for you. That's a saying that a friend of mine told me once. Like, if you can't put your own boundaries, someone will put it for you. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what this is. So you need to make sure that you're moving into greater freedom based on who you are, not an idea. And then moving more towards like the second half of August. So around when is so Mercury enters Virgo on the 12th. So yeah, second week of August, we're going to see more of the Virgo energy at play. and Venus will enter Libra. So we're going to see a little bit more of Virgo energy and Libra energy. So again, Libra, relationships, beauty, and just having all my it's like a lot of.
And speaking of Virgo, Miss Virgo, that's coming from a Virgo.
Oh yeah, super Virgo, mambo jumbo, very structured, right? So what's going to happen now is on August 18th, we're going to have, so Mercury is going to enter Virgo, where now we can see more clearly and see, you know, because while Mercury is in Leo, it's like, I want to self-express. Who am I? This is my voice. This is my thoughts. And it's a lively, fiery energy. Once it moves into Virgo, it's like, okay, now that I have all this emotion about who I am, now let's roll up the sleeves. And how are we going to get there? That's Mercury in Virgo, says be practical. Now ground this. It's an earth sign, Virgo. Let's be practical. Let's do this in a grounded way. Let's put our mind to work. And then it's going to be Mars is going to come together with Mercury on the 18th, like saying, be assertive. Ask for what you want. Ask for what you need. That's when Mars says, go. Mars is the go button. Go, Mars. You know?
The masculine, like, person. Yeah, action. Yeah.
The shadow side of this could be then being too like saying sharp words, and they're being, you know, so if you're not being assertive is one thing, but another thing is being aggressive and saying sharp words and then too demanding, you know, then it could go all the way to the other side.
Now, I have to say something that's coming to me as you're saying this in terms of the way I read the energy reports based on what you're saying. The Venus side of this was the expression, the desire, speaking what I need, asking for what I want, and love, and opening to love. But on the last half, we're talking about Mars taking action and the men stepping up, or I should say the divine masculine, and coming together. And this is where I have been shown and seeing that August 8th is this tipping point between this masculine and feminine energy coming into this harmonic connection, which is how and why in the twin flame community, more, I said this in a video a couple weeks ago, that more twin flames in the history of even me doing twin flames are coming into actual reunions now. And it happens always as the energy goes up, but with the Aquarius ushering this in, we're bringing balance to that masculine feminine energy, which is where we bring in the reunions from.
Mm-hmm. And one thing to be also on the lookout for is between August 18th to like probably 20th, where, you know, those days it's like we could have gotten so self-aggrandized because Jupiter is now, so Leo's sun's still in Leo, me. Jupiter is going to go on the opposite and say, well, now make it bigger, you know? So what could happen is like, now it's like, okay, I'm so full of myself that now I'm going to demand this and I'm going to say this is about me. So it tips to the other side. So the key here is to not then feel that I have this entitlement because now it's all about me. So you see, it could be like, then it tips it all the way to the other side, you know, like, yeah. So the invitation here is to still stay humble. Take the Virgo and use that energy of Virgo to stay humble. To know, yes, you're asking for who you are. Yes, you're asserting yourself. Yes, you're going for what you want. However, it doesn't need to be out of entitlement. It doesn't need to be out of like, okay, I got it, and now everybody's wrong and I'm right, and I found the, you know, the ultimate truth, and I'm gonna, yeah, put it on you. Or vice versa. If somebody outside of you it's putting their truth or their self-aggrandizement or their beliefs, then it's up to you to say, no, I believe this. I'm staying true to myself, but I'm not shoving it up anybody. So you see, this is a little energy that says it's going kind of pendulum swing. So what we want is to stay true to ourselves, but know that everybody has their own truth. That's, so what? Yeah.
Something I feel in what you're saying is the archetypes or the aspects of ourselves and the contrast and the polarity of who we are. As we do that, and we're opening up and expanding these versions of ourselves, and then it's about integrating, embodying, and connecting to, and harmonizing and neutralizing all aspects into wholeness. Correct?
Exactly. Everything into wholeness, balance, and and so we're able to, this is why I'm saying August 18, 19, 20, 21st, 18th to the 20th, we want to kind of be a little bit on the lookout for those tendencies, because if we're able to stay in this more humble approach, what happens then, like by the last week of August or the last 10 days of August, then we have Mercury in a nice aspect with Uranus. Suddenly Uranus, the higher mind, higher self, beams ideas of how to get into, like, brilliant ideas, brilliant inspirations, like, I got it, light bulb moments. So if you've been feeling stuck of like, well, how do I express myself in the world? Like, how do I do this? And then boom, suddenly there's an idea, or you go like, oh my gosh, I never thought of that. And then you implement it. Why? Because Mars is going to also be, Uranus is going to be, you can do this, you can do it. Change is okay. Take that leap. Otherwise, what Uranus does is like shake the ground. And it's like, if you don't take the leap, you'll take it because we're shaking the ground and you're going to fall anyway. So it's like, just jump, just take the leap and go for it. You are supported by this energy that says change isn't, it's wonky, but it's exciting. So Mars Uranus in a supportive aspect says, yes, go for what you want, for what makes you free. Uranus wants to free yourselves from conditionings. So this is the time. And then because Mercury is also in the mix, the mind, Mercury, Mars, the action, Uranus, change, individuation, freedom. And it's telling you, go for what you want, implement, because it's in Virgo, like Mars, as both Mars and Mercury are still in Virgo. It's like implemented in reality, and there's a procedure and there's ways to do it. Just get your act together. We'll create structures that provide more freedom. This is what we want. And because as we saw Venus and Uranus earlier, it's also wanting you to build relationships or have more freedom in relationship as well, but true freedom, not like rebellious freedom, true freedom. If I am and I accept you as you are, then we can see each other eye to eye, and we can create relationships based on freedom. And that's what we're doing in the twin flame community. It's not codependent, so-called freedom. It's the real freedom comes from that, from accepting the other, their Leo heart as they are, and knowing ourselves and not selling ourselves to everybody else. It's knowing who you are. And so that's a little bit the whole part of this. And then Venus, Saturn is gonna bring also some nice beams to Venus that can solidify these desires. Venus is also the desire nature. And when Saturn comes and says, okay, it's a nice energy from Saturn, not a difficult one, it's a trine. It comes and says to Venus, okay, now commit to this. So Saturn will always go with, okay, I'll help you commit to this, and this will stand in the long run. Now, again, a little beware at the end of the month, 24th, 25th, 25th, 24th to the 26th so by the end of the month, again, there might be disillusionment, Mercury. Make sure in those dates, your mind might get a little bit foggy, or so, contracts and things that you're already kind of in the making, like make sure that what you're getting into, it's real, because again, Neptune can make things a little bit foggy and confusing. So it's not a good time to like do agreements and sign pacts and stuff. Like, that's not the best, those are not the best dates. This passes kind of quickly. But I'm just saying, if you're thinking of like, buying a car or a house or something, or doing like signing a contract, make sure you don't do it on those dates. Maybe before.
You're saying it's a good thing we didn't get married at the end of the month? No, I'm just
Yeah, you're good. Well, it could create, you could be, when Neptune is in the mix, you could miss out on details and things, right? You could miss out on important stuff and go like, like, oh, I didn't read the fine print, so it's like whatever, and then you're signing like a pact with the devil that you didn't know you were signing. Things like that. So this is, again, on the practical side of Virgo. Make sure that you're really creating something, that what you're committing to, Saturn, Venus, or the relationships you're committing to, or how you're organizing your life, or the commitments to who you are really based on something that is true to you. So my invitation now, and this is to close the reading, is to really center into the heart. So I'm going to give you a little exercise that you can do on the new moon, or like honestly every day. I do it every day, where you put your hands on your heart. So we're going to do this for like a minute or so, and then you breathe deep, and you breathe out. So you do this 3 times. Breathe in and breathe out. Now you can close your eyes so you really feel connected to your heart. Breathe in again and out. And as you feel your hands on your heart, start doing small circles, gently pressing on your heart. What this does is it really activates your heart chakra energy just by feeling the contact of your own loving hands to yourself. And as you do this, you may ask yourself, your higher self, if you have been, feeling repressed, suppressed, or unexpressed, you ask your higher self, who am I? Bring to me the love that I have for myself and for everything in my life. If I'm disconnected from love, then I'm disconnected from my highest purpose. So it's just bringing yourself back by just doing those little circles and breathing and feeling grateful for your life, and also grateful for the beautiful things that you love, and then reconnect to that you love, and that who you are. And as you do this, you can do this for a few minutes, and just do that as a practice. You can do it for a few minutes. I'm going to also leave a link to music. You can use any music that is on the frequency of the heart, 639 or 528 hertz, or even 432, the organic frequencies. I've been also creating music for this, but it's not me. It's like I'm the channel for it. But I'm going to leave a link below to where you can access music, and I'm working on one piece specifically that's for the heart, and you can also chant the mantra E-Yam, like this.
E-Yam. E-Yam.
Yeah. So if you're having like trouble connecting to your heart center, if you're like upset, if you're unexpressed, if you're feeling blocked, 2 minutes. And this is prescription, 2 minutes, go.
Okay. E-Yam.
E-Yam. And I will leave you the little piece of music.
I want people to know this link she's going to leave for you below is her music that she has written, composed, sung, that is also channel of light coming through with her brilliant talent that is so much artistic expression of who you are. And you're part of coming through this and coming out in this timeline, I can tell. And it's just beautiful to watch. Thank you for sharing your love and light with us.
And again, and this is me saying that when I am really connected to what I'm here to do, this is me super connected doing this, whenever I'm channeling a chant or a song and I put it out and someone is going to listen to it and they're going to feel connected, it just ripples. It ripples. So this is me doing my job. What is your job? What are you here to do? This is why you're being called to find out in this month.
Connect with more who you are, so you understand more of your purpose, so you can get in line with more of what it is that you came here to share with others, right?
These cycles keep repeating. It's not like the only time in life you're going to be, these cycles repeat. You're always having an opportunity to become that very version, that new version, that new version, that new version of who you are. Now, this is a big, big, powerful moment of that.
Perfect time to go to the next level with who you are and really identify and reinvent more of yourself.
Exactly. This is exactly what it is about. And yeah, so I'm leaving you all these little tools, prompts, exercises, little things to do. And I'm going to leave you with a little short anecdote I had regarding who I'm not.
No, I like that. We don't know who we are. One way to find out who we are is to know who we aren't, right?
I signed up for like a seminar that was about like coaching and getting you to the next level of things. And I don't know, I just signed up for this like before the pandemic, and it just kept, it's like, I'm like, okay, I signed up for this like a year ago, but it didn't happen. So I'm just going to go and do it. Lo and behold, the whole time I was feeling constricted, restricted. I like, oh my gosh, like, what is this? And I was like, okay, no, I'm here. I paid for that. Like, I'm giving myself all the reasons for being there. And I was having a really not a good time there. It was like, not me. It's probably good for others. I'm not saying it's not good for other people that need that kind of like shock therapy to make breakthroughs. Like, it's certainly not me. And I'm like, no, this is not me. This is not me. And what ended up happening by the second day, I got a massive panic attack. And this is like, I have not had a panic attack in a long time, like really long time. Emotionally, it was so triggered with my past trauma and past things. Like, it just went to show that this is not the way for me forward to healing. It's not through shock and confrontation and going back to all the pain. Like it's, yes, of course, once we have seen the pain, that's good. But then we move out of it. We make choices. And I was not choosing self-love by putting myself through that. Like, please beat me more. Yeah, I want more of this. Like, no. Then what I did, I went into my tools and I did my heart energy. I took flower essences. I did all that I'm telling you. And I put myself back into balance of who I am. And then I said, okay, thank you. That exists in the world. That's for other people who are at a certain frequency. It's not me. And what I am is I'm offering healing that is through gentleness. It's through the feminine. Healing does not have to be with, this in the hand, like heal, it doesn't.
That's a very good point, because what I've been going through some massive healing that Julian has helped me do to come into more of who I am. And I thought it was going to have to be done in a form of pain and suffering and crying. And it turned out, I realized that I could choose to heal it with love.
Thank you.
And intentionally choose to heal it with love. And then there was no more sorrow, no more tears. I was able to turn my woes into wisdom.
Exactly. And this is the invitation I am making you. This is the invitation that I believe our higher guidance, angels, guides do with us. They only give love to everything and every part of ourselves. So the invitation is to heal through love, and send more love to whoever is needing the healing. You just vibrate yourself out. That's all we need to do. It's not through confrontation. It's not through, again, more of that Uranus, Mars, or like, like Saturn. It doesn't need to be through anger. It doesn't need to be through harsh words. It doesn't need to be through imposing myself. It can just be with, I am this, I love this, and I love you as you are, even wherever you're at or whatever, and this is what this being in this place showed me. It's like, well, that's at that level of things. I don't like to call it level, at that expression of things.
Yeah.
It's not my expression anymore. Some people are still there. I love them, but it's not for me.
Well, and the more you accept others is the more you accept yourself.
Absolutely.
And especially even when it comes to your twin flame, because the more you accept no matter where they're at and see the beauty in what they're teaching you, why they've showed up in your life, and what the alignment of this is, the more compassion you have for them, but also for yourself. And then the more you awaken to this higher version of love that is beyond human form and comprehension to be able to attain or contain inside of a human body.
Exactly.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Tatiana. So appreciate it. I want to remind everybody that if you have specific topics or questions about what we've talked about here, be sure to put your comments and questions below, and Tatiana and I will definitely be able to follow up on those. I also want to remind you that Tatiana does evolutionary birth chart readings amongst other types of readings for us now here through this community. So you can find her link below, and she is phenomenal, as we know. And so check out her link for if you're interested in a reading. And I just want to thank all of you for your love and your support. And we will be back next month together for another energy report for September. However, I will be back weekly as usual. So I will see you all in the next video, and may you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Namaste.